Hi, I'm Boyd Martin. 7 o'clock in the morning, and I wanted to show you to my barn. So welcome to my barn here in Pennsylvania, brought to you by Purina.
So the first thing that happens each day at our farm is the feeding of hay. One person out of our staff has to start a bit earlier than everyone else. This morning it's Jess's turn. At 6:30 she's got to go around and feed all the horses hay. We got some advice off Anna Pesto, who's a Purina nutritionist, that gives us advice, saying that how much healthier it is, she believes, to get the horses hay before they eat their grain. Now it's 7 o'clock, and we'll just say hello to everyone that's mucking out at our barn.
Morning, Mia. Say good morning to Purina.
Good morning, Purina.
There we go here. Bradley, oh, show us your hat.
Good morning.
Look at this. Thumbs up, Purina.
There you go.
Morning, Isabel.
Good morning.
Hey, Olivia.
Morning.
Say a wave for Kansas City.
Yep.
We're very lucky. We live in the mushroom capital of America, and all of our straw and bedding gets picked up, and we actually get paid for it. It gets taken away, and it gets used for mushroom compost. So all your mushrooms growing out of this pile. So obviously the horses have eaten their hay at 6:30, and just after 7 the wagon's loaded up with everyone's grain. And like I said before, we're very lucky to have some of the nutritionists at Purina advise us all the different feeds that suit each individual horse. A lot of our horses are on the Ultium Gastric. Another food we use a lot is the Strategy and the Enrich. And this is the most exciting part of the morning for a lot of these horses. They all stay in a stall at night. Well, most of them stay in. There's a couple of the young horses stay out in the field at night. But they'll all go around and get their particular grain breakfast. We probably feed 4 or 5 times a day. They'll get a lunch feed as well as an evening feed. They'll probably get their dinner at about 5. And then the skinny ones usually get a late night feed, or the ones doing a lot of exercise and a lot of work usually get a feed about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So some horses eat quicker than others. We try not to rush them through their feed. Most horses will then go out into the field. They'll get turned out, usually about 7:45, 8 o'clock, and they'll get brought back in to work. A few of the horses will actually get ridden in the morning and then go out in the field in the afternoon. These stables you see, it's not the most glamorous stable block, I know. Silva and I bought this property in 2011, and we had just enough money to scrape up the bit of land. So the barn that you're seeing is actually a second-hand stable that we bought off a bloke that was in prison. We got a great deal for about 28 boxes. And we also have a couple of breeding horses, a couple of young horses. I think these are 1 or maybe even 2-year-olds. These guys usually get the Ultium growth grain. They get fed twice a day in these little pens. We put them in these little pens so they don't steal each other's feed. One on the left's actually a baby out of an advanced mare that I've got called On Cue. This guy there's a French bred horse by Jaguar Male. So they'll probably get started up next year. So all at the time we're feeding the horses, mucking stalls, our property manager Alex, he's in charge of grooming the rings and getting everything ready for us to train the horses for the day. So his job is he starts usually in the dressage ring here, and to harrow it and smooth over the footing. It's the Atwood Pinnacle footing. And then he finishes the dressage ring, then he usually goes to the jumping ring next. And there's lots and lots of horses that work on our place every day. There's probably 60 horses in total. My barn usually has 30. I mean, out of that 30, about 15 are mine, and then the guys that all work for me have some, and then there's some baby horses that we count. And Silva usually has about 15 dressage horses. And we have an extra barn with about 25 horses on it, which Lillian herd rents, that's connected to the farm. So it's really, these rings get a whole heap of traffic, and it's very, very important that the footing's in good nick. We also have a wonderful gallop track. Again, Alex tries to beat all the horses out to the track and grooms that up, making sure that the depth is perfect for the horses to do their galloping work. Sometimes we do some dressage work, fitness work up there. It's the end of March and it's still bloody cold, and there'll actually be some cross-country jumps set out in the grass there once the grass starts really getting thick and good next week or two. And so that's Alex's main job. Obviously, while Alex is grooming the rings, the horses are finishing their breakfast. A few of the young horses that live out will come back in to the stalls, and then some of the horses that have had their breakfast that will get worked in the afternoons, they'll go out in the fields now. And pretty much everyone that works at the farm will probably ride a bit for me as well. This is Joe and Mike. They're both good riders, but everyone's got to sort of help with the chores in the morning, the mucking, the turning out, making sure the horses are all looked after well, and then we get sort of focused on the training. Then obviously we got good turnout, so all the horses are enjoying the nice fresh spring grass. Actually, that's my top horse at the moment, Sesterleg, otherwise known as Thomas, a wonderful Trakehner bred horse.
This is our expensive looking tack room. Each morning I get here, and then we usually have at the moment about 28-30 horses in training, and I'll go through the list of each horse every day, put down on a piece of paper what their training consists of, a bit of fitness work, dressage or jumping, and then we usually get started riding by about 7:30. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us on what goes on here at our stable in Pennsylvania at Windurra each morning. I'd also like to make a big thank you to Purina. They've been an absolute wonderful company to work with over the years. Obviously that we feed all of their products to our horses, and it really gives us the edge. Not only that, I think their support staff, their nutritionists, that has customised the feeds for each and every horse here has made a hell of a difference. So anyway, everyone stay safe, and we'll see you soon.